By the 1920s, Bill Gollings had graduated from a novice cowboy dabbling in art to a true cowboy artist. Through his art, Gollings was able to express experiences he once knew from a West that had since faded into memory. Friend and fellow artist Hans Kleiber explained that, by the time Gollings arrived in this section of the West, the grazing of open ranges as well as the people themselves had undergone considerable change, but he absorbed and saw and sensed enough of the atmosphere that still remained, and, in so doing, he left a lot of true depictions of it. Today we only have the art to imagine scenes once remembered by Gollings. In the fall of 1930, Gollings decided to clear his studio of paintings he had begun, but not finished, that he felt did not warrant his best work and destroy them. Those which passed muster were stored in the rafters and floorboards awaiting further development. It was during this time that businesses in Sheridan could complain that in the summertime you could shoot a shotgun down Main Street and have no fear of injuring anyone. As a way of bettering their prospects, these local business owners conceived of a way to draw tourists and increase sales by capitalizing on the success of the local PK rodeo by bringing the concept into town under the banner of the Wyo Rodeo. Gollings soon found work being commissioned $350 by the newly formed Wyo Rodeo Board to paint a poster advertising the new rodeo. Gollings used local subject in his work and drew on action he had observed watching the PK rodeos in 1928 and 1929 to make his now famous 1931 poster. The bucking horse featured in the work was the well-named Funeral Wagon and was blind in one eye. A young Burton Brewster of Bernie, Montana was model for the cowboy. Curly Wells of Lodgegrass rides the brown horse, and a longtime Eaton's Ranch cowboy, George Gentry, is on the white horse. As Gollings finished his poster, he felt that he was breaking into a lucrative art area that would help him make a real profit on his work. This was welcome news to Gollings, who, similar to other artists, struggled from time to time to make a living from his talent. Unfortunately, the 1931 Wyo Rodeo would be his first and his last. On April 16, 1932, Bill Gollings died of a heart attack at age 54 in the Western Hotel located on Sheridan's Main Street. Gollings' death was a shock to his friends, supporters, and to art patrons who had seen the passing of Remington, Russell, and now Gollings. Upon his death, it was his friend Hans Kleiber who helped organize his estate, which at that time included over 182 oil paintings and etchings, both finished and unfinished. These works were sold at auction. Gollings was a member of the local Elks Lodge and is buried in an original Elks section of the Sheridan Memorial Cemetery. His signature and pony track adorn his marker. Many of Gollings' famous pony marks, similar to Charlie Russell's buffalo skull, which he would add upon completion of a work he felt was done, were added after his death by misguided individuals thinking they were adding value to his work. Gollings was an active artist in the Sheridan area for nearly 30 years. His works number in the hundreds, and although his friends petitioned local residents to create a museum in his honor, his home was ironically torn down as the area was readied for the building of a new caffeine school, and his studio was carted off for use as a chicken coop. In 1966, the Britton Memorial Gallery opened with local Dayton artist Hans Kleiber as the honored guest. For this occasion, Governor Cliff Hansen, along with Sheridan Mayor Nelson, declared a Bill Gollings Day. During his lifetime, Bill had been promoted in a local Gollings Day in 1917 in recognition of his work being hung in the Wyoming State Capitol, but he shunned the limelight in favor of the war bond effort initiated to support the war effort during the Great War. Today, Gollings is recognized as one of the premier artists of the West, a man who lived out the scenes he painted, a man who could speak to their accuracy. It is through his work that we see the West as it was.